Wait, is this Slash? It's Astrostetics. Let's get it, baby. Yeah. What in the Diddy is going on? Last week, a third accuser came out and accused Diddy, Harvey Pierre, and a hidden character third assailant of some erroneous things. Now, in this lawsuit, I kid y'all not, the first thing that the plaintiff or Jane Doe stated was the Cassie case. So look, as soon as you open up we gonna examine it too. Don't worry, y'all. We gonna get into this content, this material, because these things is wow. And I browsed through it, not much. So this is like my first time looking at it with y'all. Alright, so if y'all see me browse through something or look over something kind of fast, that's because I'm adhering to the trigger warning at the top of it. So with no further ado, let's get into this. The first statement is on November 16th, 2023, Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, filed a 35-page lawsuit in which she exposed Sean Combs for subjecting her to nearly a decade of physical. Alright, so I know y'all know about what the freak off lifestyle. Hey yo, go get the Astro glass, set it up with the candles. Go online and wild out. And we ain't talking billionaire boys club. Like that's the first thing. As soon as if it was like a judge or somebody looking at this, in the preliminary statement, right? The preliminary statement, this is the first thing. So as soon as they open this up, they immediately got the freak offs as the citation. That's crazy. So the second thing is, ordinarily, when a lawsuit such as Miss Ventura's is filed that involves events that took place long ago, witnesses are far between and evidence hard to muster. Not so for the claims brought against Mr. Combs. So as soon as the second thing that they said is, ordinarily when things like that happen years ago, it take a minute for people to corroborate what was said or stated. They said that as soon as Cassie filed that lawsuit, people pop from all over the place to confirm some of those claims. That's what this is stating. So that's why I said not so for Mr. Combs. Then it says within minutes. They didn't even say an hour or a day. They said within minutes of the filing, salient facts of Miss Ventura's claims were confirmed by various witnesses, including a rival musician whose car Mr. Combs blew up. Oh my God. They got your boy sounding like James Bond. They got him sounding like James Bond, yo. Now, if somebody was to look at this, right? You gonna be like, yo, who the f got away with this? The third thing that it says is, only a few days later, 2 other lawsuits were filed against Mr. Combs. In one, plaintiff Joy Dickerson Neal alleged that Mr. Combs. Alright, so this is alleging that case with Diddy, and when she was a college student, and then the other one was the one with the Aaron Hall dude. And then it says that the other lawsuit accused Mr. Combs and singer Aaron Hall of forcing the plaintiff and another unidentified woman into non-consensual sex. So the first things that they list is the other cases, and it's almost like they're kind of like jamming them together. And like if we really being honest with this, like the 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 Jane Does and the Joy Dickerson Neals, it's really the prosecutors that's on Diddy's ass. It's really the prosecutors that's on his ass. And it's the same prosecutor, right? So it's like they have all of these different corroborating statements and different what the witnesses may say, and it's like they're building a case. Like as soon as you open it, they're citing other cases. So they on a different type of timing. Now the fourth thing this says is at the same time, a fourth lawsuit was filed. This one against Mr. Combs' companies and defendant Harvey Pierre, the longtime president of Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings Incorporation.
It's either you got it or you don't. It's either you want it or you don't. It's been 2 years for y'all to take advantage of this opportunity. The opportunity wasn't taken advantage of. But at the end of the day, it's not about y'all individually. It's about the band. So now is when life begins. Because now the cameras ain't going to be on y'all no more.
So you
it's
see,
the last episode.
Even in the fourth preliminary statement, they're attaching it to his company. They're attaching it to an entity that he owns. So the fifth preliminary statement states that this is now the fifth lawsuit. So in the first four preliminary statements, they cited 4 other lawsuits. So as soon as you open this, there's 4 other cases to cite. So let's continue looking at the fifth preliminary statement. Incredibly, the allegations brought by Miss Doe are in many ways even more egregious than those brought by his prior victims. Specifically in 2003, when she was only 17 years old and in the 11th grade, Miss Doe was manipulated. And yeah, this right here says some crazy things, right? So we're gonna say that it says that Miss Doe was manipulated by Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and the third assailant in short. So now it says that when she was just a teenager, Miss Doe met Mr. Pierre and the third assailant in a lounge in the Detroit, Michigan area. While at the lounge, Mr. Pierre insisted that he was, quote, best friends, end quote, with Mr. Combs, and even called Mr. Combs with Miss Doe. Mr. Combs convinced Miss Doe, who was half his age at the time, to accompany Mr. Pierre and the third assailant on a private jet to come home to his studio in New York City. So hold on. She's supposed to be in high school, getting into food fights, walking by the park at home, doing extracurricular activities. Is she on a private jet? So now it says before they left for the private jet, Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine. What? Son was smoking crack before they left for the private jet. Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine in the bathroom at the lounge, in which he, oh, what? Y'all, this is crazy. It says that he manipulated her into giving him oral sex. And y'all, it also says something else that's just crazy. Oh, erroneous. This is erroneous. Then it says Mr. Pierre, third assailant. Now, why I keep saying third assailant? That's sus. Like, why is the third assailant complicit in any way with this thing? Yeah, no, that would be crazy, right? Well, what if the third assailant got like a deal with him or something, so like they won't name him, and then it's like if they do take it to court, the third assailant would be like dun dun dun. But yeah, that would be crazy, right? Like who would ever think that would ever happen? But Mr. Pierre, third assailant, and another gentleman then escorted the high schooler to a private jet which flew them to Teterboro, New Jersey,
Got to
There
go.
were SUVs awaiting
Period.
the
Point
group at
blank.
Teterboro,
Period. Point.
and the
Ladies, I need
4
y'all to
of
come
them
in.
were
Ladies,
driven to
security. If they
Daddy's
ain't
house
dancing, they
recording
gotta go
studio,
home. If they
a
ain't dancing,
studio
they gotta go home.
famously owned and operated by Mr. Combs and Bad Boy. Yo, that's crazy. You ever like watch the movie, and like when you watch the movie, like they transporting something and they got it like a top secret agent, like that's how they got this sounding, like this sound like Operation High School or some weird shit like that. Like, yeah, this is it's so erroneous. Like, now it says, while at the studio, Mr. Combs and his associates, including Mr. Pierre, plied Miss Doe with drugs and alcohol. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Miss Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she cannot possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less someone twice her age. So dang, y'all, they saying that they got her off the woo-wah. So while at the studio, whoa, Miss Doe was GR'd by Mr. Combs, the third assailant, and Mr. Pierre, in that order. What in the world? What in the world, yo? Dennis says Mr. Combs was R-ing Miss Doe. He complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could. Yo, that's what y'all was doing? Hold on. You telling Shorty to give you a purple nurple? Yo, son is like, yo, I can't get off until you give me a purple nurple. Oh my gosh. Yo, what in the Diddy, son? What in the Bad Boy? Then it says, Mr. Combs then watched on as third assailant, who Miss Doe had not even realized had begun to have sex with her, r'd Miss Doe as she told him to stop. After third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn at r'ing Miss Doe and then violently forced her to give him oral, during which Miss Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. Oh nah, that's crazy, man. When Mr. Pierre finished, he left Miss Doe on the bathroom alone. Miss Doe fell as she laid on the floor, and this is wild. Finally, after a short period of time, Miss Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up following that situation and had to be helped to walk out of the building and back to the car. She was then taken to the airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she had very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in her car sometime early in the morning. Yo, that's wild. Yo, they was like on some 007 pervy kind of Operation High Schooler kind of vibe. Yo, this is really wild, yo. I'm keeping it being with y'all. Like, yeah, and like excuse me, sometimes like just looking through it, I just want to make sure that I'm adhering to the trigger warning, because like I low key I see why they put that there, right? If the plaintiff is alleging that these things were done, yeah, that trigger warning is needed. Alright, so yeah, let's continue reading. The seventh preliminary statement states that, unlike many victims who have come forward after decades, Miss Doe can prove that she not only met Mr. Combs on the night in question, but was in the studio in New York City with him on that night. Remember, when viewing these, Miss Doe was 17 years old. Now, yeah, they got 4 pictures of her, and her face is blurred out, and she's in the studio. She's sitting on his lap. Yo, he think he Diddy Cause. His son think he's Santa. Son think he's Santa. He got a 17-year-old sitting on his lap. That's crazy. That's crazy. Son is looking wild right there, yo. Yo, like, now it says the 8th preliminary statement. Miss Doe has lived with her memories of this fateful night for 20 years, during which time she has suffered extreme emotional distress that has impacted nearly every aspect of her life and personal relationships. Given the brave women who have come forward against Mr. Combs and Mr. Pierre in recent weeks, Miss Doe is doing the same. The 9th preliminary statement. To that end, Miss Doe brings this action-seeking injunctive, declaratory, and monetary relief against defendants in violation of the Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Law. Gender-Motivated Violence Act NYC. Alright, so y'all, then we have all of this stuff at the bottom. So y'all, this right here is wild. Now, I didn't see the Adult Survivors Act. This is the plaintiff, Miss Doe, seeking injunctive, declaratory, and monetary relief against defendants in violation of the Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Law. So yeah, this is something else now, right? This ain't the Adult Survivors Act right here. This is the Victim of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Law. So I ain't never hear of this. Alright, but y'all, let's check out some more what this is saying. The jurisdiction and venue. The court has jurisdiction over this matter to pursuant as this action involves citizens of different states and the amount in controversy in this matter exceeds 75,000. The court has supplemental jurisdiction over plaintiffs' related claims arising under state of law. So yeah, this is wild right here, because they pretty much saying this is what we have jurisdiction to go over, and then they're saying that this involves different states, like different courts, like different. So like y'all, this right here is not a good look. You get what I'm saying? And then look out what it says afterwards. Plaintiff Jane Doe is a citizen of Canada. Defendant Sean Combs is a citizen of the state of California. So this is listing the different places. All right. Now, you see New York City is popping up in here. California is popping up in here. Then they listed defendant Daddy House Recordings Incorporation. Daddy's House is a music, media, and entertainment company founded and owned by defendant Sean Combs. Daddy's House is incorporated and headquartered in New York, New York. Now, y'all, the factual allegations. In 2003, Miss Doe was a 17-year-old 11th grader residing in a suburb in Detroit, Michigan. At the time, Mr. Combs was 34 years old, twice the age of Miss Doe, and one of the most well-known and influential music artists of all time. A decade earlier, Mr. Combs founded Bad Boy and installed his longtime friend Mr. Pierre into the role of president. At the time, Mr. Combs had many connections in Michigan, including, among others, to the BMF. Yo, that's wild. A that is rumored to have seated Bad Boy. Yeah, that is wild right there. Cause why? Yeah, that's listed as a factual allegation. Now, once again, that opens up. You see, like that last thing where they said jurisdiction and venue. That opens that up to a whole other level, because now, at one point, it was about like they said S trafficking or whatever. Then now when they're saying they're tying this to, that opens up a whole other can of worms with this thing, y'all. Yeah, like, and then on top of that, factual allegations. So let's keep looking at this, man. Yo, this just keep getting crazier and crazier. Holy shit. Accordingly, upon information, y'all is in the 90s is hilarious. The name of this is called Bad Boy. What the did y'all think was going on? The name of this was called Bad Boy. Man, take that. Y'all thought was going on. Accordingly, upon information and belief, Mr. Combs' associates, including Mr. Pierre and the third assailant, spent significant time in and around Detroit, Michigan. That's crazy right there. On one evening between the spring and fall of 2003, Miss Doe was out with friends. It was not uncommon for her and her friends to frequent bars and lounges in the Detroit area. Certain of Miss Doe's friends were well connected with people in the music industry. On the evening in question, Miss Doe was with friends in a lounge when she was approached by who she later learned was Mr. Pierre. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, she got it sound like he was like he pulled up out the shadows on some trench coat. Mr. Pierre was with his own friends, including the third assailant. That's crazy. Yo, then it says Mr. Pierre and the third assailant and their friends were dressed in suits. Yo, like, that's crazy. Yo, like, she deadass got them sounding like ominous characters. Yo, that's crazy. Mr. Pierre repeatedly complimented Miss Doe's appearance, saying that she was hot. What? Among other things. Yeah, that's crazy. Sounds like you hot? I'm like, what? He then began talking about his self-described best friend and brother, Mr. Combs. Specifically, Mr. Pierre continually stated that Mr. Combs would love to meet Ms. Doe. Mr. Pierre even called Mr. Combs and put Ms. Doe on the line. Mr. Combs told Ms. Doe that he would love to meet her and that she should accompany Mr. Pierre to New York in a private jet. Shortly after, Mr. Pierre directed Ms. Doe to go with him into the bathroom at the lounge. Once inside the bathroom, Mr. Pierre began to smoke crack cocaine from what appeared to be an aluminum can. Oh, yo, son is smoking different type of crack. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, son is smoking crack out the aluminum can. Oh, yo, what? Yo, I thought you was drinking soda out of that, bro. Dang, yo, son took the Schweppes, son took the ginger ale, the Canada Dry, and smoked crack. Yo, that's different. Yo, that's crazy, son. Oh my God. After he finished smoking crack, Mr. Pierre said, oh man. Yo, after he finished smoking crack, it said that he took out his weave and then he forced the girl to perform oral. So I'm like, yo, shorty, why you watch that? Yo, shorty. Anybody that's just gonna pull out crack in front of you like that and hit it, they're beyond wildin'. Like, look, if you somewhere and you see somebody pull out crack, just fucking leave. But then he smoked it out of an aluminum can. Yo, son. Yo, this is a different type of nigga. This is a different type of nigga, man. Yo, after S.A.ing Miss Doe, Mr. Pierre directed her to accompany him, the third assailant, and a third member of their group to an airport in Pontiac, Michigan, where Signature, a fixed-base operator, had prepared a private jet to take the four of them to New York City. See, that's not a good look, because they name is Signature in there. They don't want to be in that lawsuit. Then, ayo, Signature, let us take a look at your flight log real quick. Then that opens up a whole, yo, this don't look good, man. This is not a good look, yo. I hope this stuff ain't true. Upon information and belief, the private jet landed at Teterboro Airport. Upon departing the jet, 2 black SUVs were awaiting the group. Miss Doe got into an SUV with Mr. Pierre and the third assailant, and the other member of the group went into the second SUV. The SUVs brought the group to Daddy's House Recording Studio, a recording studio and hangout owned and operated by Mr. Combs and Bad Boy. When Miss Doe arrived, she was escorted into the building, where she distinctly remembers seeing the sign for the company, Technicolor. Upon entering the studio, Miss Doe first encountered Mr. Combs. At the time she arrived, a female recording artist was using the studio as Mr. Combs and her parents watched on. She finished up shortly after Miss Combs arrived and left. While still in the studio section of Daddy's house, Mr. Combs asked Miss Doe to sit on his lap and take a picture like Santa Claus. What in the world? Yo, I think he's Santa. Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and the third assailant began applying Miss Doe, a 17-year-old child at the time, with copious amounts of drugs and alcohol. While the evening became a blur, Miss Doe does recall Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and the third assailant hitting on her incessantly, stroking her body, asking to see her, and telling her how hot and sexy she was. Various other pictures were taken in the studio that night, leaving no doubt that Miss Doe was in Mr. Combs' New York City studio with Mr. Combs on the night that this happened. Y'all, this is crazy. All of the pictures that they got the pictures, and then it looked like she got them in chronological order. So first she got the picture of Miss Doe sitting on Diddy's lap in at Daddy's house recording studio, and he dead ass son think he really Santa Claus, son. And then after that, she's taking pictures around. Like, y'all know during that time in the 90s, them girl, they got the Kodak cameras and they want to just, hey, look, they're at Diddy's house. And she looked like she saved the evidence. That's crazy. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Miss Doe became more and more inebriated, and that eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less someone twice her age. Nevertheless, that evening, Mr. Combs directed Miss Doe to accompany him to the bathroom at the studio. Once there, Miss Combs removed Miss Doe's skirt and underwear, and oh man, it's saying that he took it from behind, and while she hung over the sink. This dude is really a loon. Miss Doe did not consent to doing anything with Mr. Combs, but he continued thrusting. At some point, Mr. Combs turned Miss Doe around her face and he told her that he could not orgasm and asked her to give him a purple nurple. Yo, that is wild. It says that he asked her to squeeze his nipples as hard as she could to help him get off. And he then turned her back around and continued. Yo, that's some ridiculous stuff. That, like, she's like, yo, get off, yo, it smelled like bad boy juice in here. And then, yo, you know it's crazy? Y'all remember 50 would be like the puffy juice? Like, y'all remember 50 would Bim be like, don't drink the puffy juice? That's crazy, yo. But it said that Miss Doe told him to get off. This dude was like, yo, if you don't give me a purple nurple, I'm not going nowhere. If I don't get a purple nurple, I'm not leaving. Yeah, the madness just don't stop. So 42. It says by this point, Miss Doe was coming in and out of consciousness because of drugs and alcohol she had been given by defendant. Her next memory was looking up into the mirror above the sink to find that the third assailant had replaced Mr. Combs and was y'all did this sound like this young lady had a crazy experience. It says Mr. Combs is watching the third assailant. Oh my God, Miss Doe from a chair outside of the bathroom. That's this dude, man. Brother Love sitting on the chair, spanking his beef. Yo, it corroborates what Cassie was saying. Listen, if Diddy ever sit on your chair or your couch, you gotta throw it out the next day. Ew. At this point, Miss Doe mustered the energy to tell the third assailant to stop, and that she did not want to be having sex with him. The third assailant did not, and continued to Miss Doe, who did not have the strength to force him off of her. 44 says, after the third assailant was finished, he was replaced by aluminum crack smoke, by Mr. Pierre, who began to have non-consensual with Miss Doe, before violently forcing her to give him oral. During the latter part of the essay, Mr. Pierre forced his beef into Miss Doe's mouth without her consent. Miss Doe remembers that Mr. Pierre was sweaty. You see what I'm saying? That bad boy stench. The crack, the take that body odor. Oh my God. Yuck. When Mr. Pierre finished, he left Miss Doe in the bathroom alone. Miss Doe fell into fetal position and lay on the floor. This sounds so graphic. 46. Finally, after a period of time, Miss Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up following that situation and had to be helped to walk out the building and into the car. She was taken back to the airport and flown to Michigan. However, she had a limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in her car sometime in the morning. And she even says that her underwear was missing. See, that's sus. Her underwear is missing. And y'all know that in certain cases, like they'll check the underwear for residue for like sperm. So that's sus. 47 says, as a result of being by these three guys, Miss Doe suffered significant emotional distress and feels of shame that have plagued her life and personal relationship for 20 years. Miss Doe knew that speaking out against defendants would be difficult and that she would be subjected to retaliation and defamatory slurs. However, in November 2023, Miss Doe read about a lawsuit filed against Mr. Combs by Cassie. Miss Ventura's suit described a decade of physical and all the freak off saga. Most triggering for Miss Doe was reading about Miss Ventura's allegations of and being forced to do things with other men against her will. Miss Doe obviously understands that she too had been trafficked and that Mr. Combs' behavior in forcing women into those situations was not an isolated incident or unique only to Cassie. Then days later, Miss Doe read about a case filed against Mr. Pierre. She pretty much saw the Cassie thing, and then after that she saw the one with the ex bad boy manager, and she started doing like a case connection visual in her mind. And this thing is looking like some of this goes through. They coming for that whole enterprise. But we have these Miss Doe and the third assailant. That's what got me like a little concerned. Miss Doe is not named. She has pictures of her there. And the third assailant, who is this hidden character? Y'all know in the aspect of the courts, that's not a coincidence, right? Like that's not a coincidence. So if they wanted to name him, then they would. That means that he probably has a deal with them, or they're gonna let this ride out. And if he doesn't come forward, they're gonna be like, the third assailant is this person. And what if it's somebody that we know? What if it's somebody that got accused of these kinds of things already? So this shows me that there's more coming down the pipeline with this. The fact that we don't know who the third assailant is, why don't we know? Who agreed to keep that confidential? And we know that this attorney is the same attorney that prosecuted Harvey Weinstein. This prosecutor is on their ass. This prosecutor has a fascination with getting big wigs in the entertainment industry. It seems as if that is this prosecutor's specialty. So I can't remember all the specifications with the Harvey Weinstein situation, but what I do remember is that it was like one person came out, and then 2 months later another person came out. So this prosecutor has a pattern of letting it be like a slow reveal, and it seems as if they doing the same thing with Diddy. All right, so yeah, like we almost done with the court docket, but let me read a little bit more. Seeing two other women bravely speak out against Mr. Combs and Mr. Pierre respectively gave Miss Doe the confidence to tell her story as well. As such, she files this lawsuit. Now, that's pretty much the end of it. And then now it's the first cause of action. And this says that plaintiff repeats and realleges each and every allegation in all of the preceding paragraphs as if fully set forth herein. The above described conduct of defendant Mr. Combs, including but not limited to Mr. Combs's essay of plaintiff in New York City, constitutes a crime of violence against plaintiff and is a crime of violence motivated by gender. The term crime of violence means an act or series of acts that will constitute a misdemeanor or felony against the person as defined in state or federal law that will constitute a misdemeanor or felony against property as defined in state or federal law if the conduct presents a serious risk of physical injury to another. Whether or not those acts have actually resulted in criminal charges, prosecution, or conviction, and the term crime of violence motivated by gender means a crime of violence committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due, at least in part, to an animus based on the victim's gender. Y'all know how these law transcripts be. Now, misdemeanor, felony, it looks like they building a case, man. And that's why I asked y'all in one of them old videos on X, are they trying to come for the enterprise? Is because now if different people own the master recordings, it's like, yo, who advised Diddy to do that? Y'all know all of these people have lawyers. They don't just do things willy-nilly. So as I heard academics say, her lovely T say, somebody knew that this stuff was coming. Alright? So yeah, this is the Diddy breakdown of the fourth person, and yeah, there's more in this article. They on his ass. Alright? They on his ass, man. It looked like this is Wigdor LLP. Wigdor LLP on your ass, Diddy. Alright? So yeah, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. And have a great day, y'all. And don't do no Diddy shit out there. If you see a nigga Harlem shaking over there, just be like, yo, Harlem shake 300 feet away from me. Alright? Be safe out there, y'all. Alright? Peace. Dang. Y'all, I was just about to finish the video. Then breaking news. Academics post Rolling Stone. The Rolling Stone reports that 18 businesses have ended their relationships with Empower Global, Diddy's recently launched e-commerce platform, in light of the allegations against him. So wait, you think you about to do all of this freak off thotty stuff and you gonna get some of that e-commerce bread? Yo, listen, Diddy. Start a drop shipping site. Don't let nobody know you own it. And yo, look, I'm giving you some sauce right now, bro. Just do some loose promotion, because anything that has your name on it right now, they on your ass. You can't even get no money online. It says out of more than 160 brands contacted by the Rolling Stone, 9 said they had no firm plans to leave. Alright, so look, you got 9 of them. They said they don't have no firm plans. So who knows? They could be companies that maybe he has a strong relationship with, or they don't have a firm plan as of yet. It says at least 5 said they carefully considered the allegations, but are monitoring the situation before making a decision. Now it says, as Sean Combs faces a growing list of sexual abuse lawsuits and steps aside from his chairman role at Revolt, fallout is mounting in another corner of his empire, with more than a dozen companies distancing themselves from his recently launched e-commerce platform Empower Global. A total of 18 brands have confirmed to Rolling Stone that they have several ties with the online marketplace for black-owned businesses, after R&B singer Cassie and 3 other women accused the producer turned freak offer turned entrepreneur of listen, Cassie started a chain reaction, man. I'll keep it a being with you. Cassie opened up a portal. Like, Cassie opened up a portal. She was like, look, I'm gonna just put out the worst shit, and everybody else, look, he should have never paid, low-key. You paid her 30 to 50 M's to get off your ass. Like, this is like forgetting to put the car in park and paying for the damages. Like, I don't know how else to word, because the ball is rolling, right? Cassie already got the motion going on this. Y'all know in physics that once the ball get rolling on something, it's hard for that ball to stop its motion and go reverse back up the hill. Physics doesn't work like that, y'all. So this thing is in motion. 9 companies is not pulling out yet. A few of them is not sure. And this is, we talking e-commerce. E-commerce, like, y'all know that the internet, when the internet first started getting popping, if the industry fronted on you, the e-commerce gave a lot of people a revamp. You know, if you do e-commerce, you could own something and nobody knows it's yours. So this is going into brand damaging, right? This is, look, man, this is another type of PR. This dude need another type of PR right now, because this is not crisis management. This is beyond that. This is like the images. This prosecutor, they don't just prosecute the case in the courtroom. I mean, It's not all about the courtroom.
It's Astrostetics.
Because sometimes they may say that the people is the court. The people is the judge. And if that be the case, no pun intended, yo, the public opinion right now is not on Diddy's side. They on your ass. Yeah, we've been hearing these stories for years. And every couple years he pop out dancing. You hear the craziest and this pop out dancing. You hear the craziest. He got Copisha holding signs. Yeah, who else y'all know could do that? We hearing the craziest things about you in the world. And you this dancing? This is Harlem shaking? And ain't get they publishing? Is it starving out there? And you Harlem and yo look when Diddy performed that at like the VMAs or the BET Awards, whatever one that was, he fucking killed it. Like I know a few people. Look, I've seen Diddy perform myself a few times, and he's a charismatic dude. And you doing all of this, man? Nah, bro. Yo, this is different, man. Yeah, the motion is rolling on this, and I want to know where y'all think it's going when it hit. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, this is one of the many Diddy breakdowns. All right, but yeah, make sure y'all like the video and enjoy y'all day as well. All right.